Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm bringing to you my first place Genesys deck profile for the welcome event. I got this lovely mat and with ice barrier, and I would love to show you guys my deck profile. Keep the Genesys community up and running. So we're going to start with the main deck, starting off with 3 George of the ice barrier. George is level 6 tuner monster. You can special summon it from your hand, so long as you have another ice barrier monster on the field. And when this card is special summoned, you can special summon a level 5 or lower ice barrier monster from your hand or graveyard. He also does have a floodgate effect, where as long as you control another ice barrier monster, your opponent can activate monsters in the graveyard. Going over to the next ice barrier, we have Revealer of the Ice Barrier, who also has another floodgate ability, allowing yourself to not allow your opponent to tribute summon monsters. Revealer also does have another effect, which is more prudent to the combo. It allows you to discard a card in order to special summon a tuner ice barrier monster from your deck to the field. Moving on, we have another level 4 Speaker of the Ice Barrier. This one is not a tuner. However, it does follow George's effect, allowing you to special summon itself from the hand, so long as you control another ice barrier monster. And you can banish this card from your graveyard in order to create an ice barrier token, which does come up in the combo for the turn 1 board. Moving forward, we do play 3 Mirror Mage of the Ice Barrier. This is a level 2 tuner, and you notice how I didn't mention a floodgate ability on Speaker. There is also none for Mirror Mage. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can search for an ice barrier card, any card, and while this card is on field, you can tribute one other monster you control and then create up to 3 ice barrier tokens, and for each token that you make, you gain 1 level. So if you have enough room for 3 tokens, you tribute 1 card in your field, and then you can special summon 3 tokens. It becomes a level 5. 4, it becomes a level full. If you decide to special summon 2, it becomes a level 4, and so on and so forth. Moving forward, we have another tuner monster, Hexa, Spirit of the Ice Barrier. This one does have a funny floodgate ability, which makes it so your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack and defense, as long as you control another ice barrier monster. But that's not good enough for it to be in the deck. What is good enough for it to be in the deck is that when you summon this guy, you can send a ice barrier monster that is level 3 or lower from the deck to the graveyard, and then this monster becomes the sent monster's level. So send Mirror Jade, activate Mirror Jade effects, search through your deck. Lastly, we have 2 one-of ice barriers that you can special summon off of the main boss monster of the deck. We have General Ryo of the Ice Barrier and Warlock of the Ice Barrier. General Ryo, you don't have to control another ice barrier monster, but when he hits the field, whenever your opponent activates a monster on the field, they must discard a card, otherwise the effect is negated. And Warlock of the Ice Barrier puts you both under anti-spell, both you and your opponent, as long as you control another ice barrier monster. Moving forward to non-engine, I have an Ice Jade in here, that's why I've said it so many times over Ice Barrier, but this is Ice Jade, Ran Adgerine, 0 points, can discard a water monster, special summon itself, and a level 3 token. This is a level 7 tuner monster, so this is instant access to any Synchro 10 water monster, because you are locked into water monsters as long as you control the token. Next up, we play 3 Prulia. 9 points each, a hand trap that has a very good effect, allowing you to draw cards whenever your opponent special summons or normal summons a monster out of their hand. Also, you can discard this card for Ran Adgerine as it is a water monster. Moving forward, I have 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, 4 points each. Very solid hand traps, allows you to destroy opponent's monsters who's activated their effects. Lastly, I do play 2 Nibiru. Very solid hand trap. My opponents hated to see it in Genesis. Next up, 3 Medallion of the Ice Barrier. We're moving on to the spells now. Medallion, very simple spell. Search for an Ice Barrier monster. Any Ice Barrier monster, not restricted by level. Next up, we have Frozen Chains of the Ice Barrier. This one special summons a level 4 or lower Ice Barrier monster from your graveyard back to the field. And it does have a niche effect to where if you have 3 Ice Barrier monsters, your opponent's extra deck monsters can not affect your Ice Barrier monsters, which is cute, but as far as I'm concerned, never came up. Never comes up, I should say. Next up, I play 3 Forbidden Lands at 3 points each. The turn 1 combo of this deck does lead you to a kind of Towers big boss monster, except for it has no protection for itself. So I decided that I was going to play Forbidden Lands to avoid stuff like Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, Dark Hole, Regeki, any of these either targeted or mass board removal for Lancia, the Dragon of the Ice Mountain. For my lovely tech, I am playing Performance Popper Up. For those who don't know, this card allows you to draw 3 cards from your deck. But not that simply. You discard for cost up to 3 cards from your hand. You then draw that many cards, and then this effect isn't relevant, but in Genesis, but if you have Pendulum Scales, you can then Pendulum Summon Performer Pals, Magicians, Pendulum Magicians. Doesn't matter. You do take the downside because you can't do that, and that is you lose 1,000 life points for each card in your hand. Now, I don't know about you, but especially in a deep draw deck such as this, I will take the 4,000 life points to ensure that to run the gamble of getting a solid hand trap for my opponent's turn or good protection for my Lancia. Last up, I play 2 Ice Barrier. The Ice Barrier trap, when it's activated on the field, you can only do it during the battle phase when your opponent's whenever an attack is declared that involves your opponent's monster. It changes that the opponent's monsters to 0 attack, negates its effects, and it cannot change battle position. And all of this is for the rest of the game, so long as that monster's on the field. This doesn't go away at the end of turn. Its graveyard effect is debatably even better. You can banish this card from your graveyard, send a level 5 or higher water monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then grab any water monster from your graveyard back to your hand after all that. This card is very, very good. A solid reason to play Ice Barriers, or honestly any water deck that has a level 5 or higher monster. Moving on to the extra deck, I play Lancia, 2 Lancia, the Ancestral Dragon of the Ice Mountain. Notably, not an Ice Barrier card. But once per chain, whenever your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon an Ice Barrier monster from your extra deck, graveyard, or hand. And And you can do that twice per turn. Very, very good effect, especially when 80% of your ice barrier monsters are floodgates that make your opponent want to cry. However, that's not all where his effects end. If this card is removed in any way other than spin back to the extra deck by an opponent's card, you can then special summon a ice barrier monster from your extra deck, and it is considered a synchro summon. For that, we have two lovely Trishulas, one Zero Dragon of the Ice Barrier and Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Zero Dragon banishes cards, 3 cards from your opponent, and if this card is destroyed, if this Synchro Summon card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, then, or card, destroyed by an opponent's card actually, you can then special summon Trishula from your Dragon of the Ice Barrier from your extra deck, and this will not be counted as a Synchro Summon, but it will gain, its attack points will become 3,300. It will have the attack of all your opponent's monsters, and it will negate all those monsters' effects permanently. That does not go away at end of turn. And Trishula, for those who don't know, whenever it is synchro summoned, you can banish 1 card out of your opponent's hand, 1 card in their field, and 1 card in their graveyard. Continuing on with the extra deck, we have the 2 level 10 synchros. We have Chen Ying, the Sword Soul, and Ice Jade, Grimir, Adurine. Adurine says whenever a quick effect, you can make sure all your cards cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects. And if you activate this effect in response to an opponent's card, you banish the card in the previous chain as it resolves. And if this card is in your graveyard and your opponent banishes a card, then you can special summon this card out of your graveyard. Chen Ying, whenever a card is banished, you can banish 1 card in their field and 1 card in their graveyard. And your opponent's monsters loses a 100 attack and defense for each banished card, and your Chen Ying gets 100 attack and defense for every banished card. For the combo that I was alluding to earlier with Speaker and Mirror Mage, we have the Coral Dragon and the Ravenous Crocosaur, or Croco Dragon. And Coral Dragon, you can discard a card, destroy a card in your opponent's field. This matters when you're going second. But when you're going first, whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. Now, my apologies. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you draw 1 card. Now, Ravenous Crocosaur is a Synchro 9. Using just Mirror Mage, you can get up to a Synchro level 8. With the addition of Speaker in the graveyard to banish it, especially on a token, you can then reach 9. However, most of the time it's not that simple. You have to go into Cold Dragon first. And honestly, it's safer to do so. Because whenever you Synchro Summon Ravenous Croco Dragon, you can then draw cards equal to the amount of non-tuners used in the Synchro Summon. In the case of Coral Dragon plus 3 Ice Jade tokens, which you would get with Speaker of the Ice Barrier being banished and special summoning a token, you will draw 3 cards off of Croco Dragon and 1 card off of the Coral Dragon for a net total of 4 cards drawn, which very good. Croco Dragon also gains 500 attack and defense for every card in your hand, and you can quick effect discard 2 cards, destroy a card on the field. Rounding up the last of our usable monsters in the extra deck. We have Adamancipator Risen Dragite, which 20 points negates a spell trap. Very solid card. And finally, we have Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I want another Ice Barrier monster in the deck. It's solid. It can discard cards in order to bounce opponent's cards back to your hand, back to their hand. It's okay. Now we do have the lovely Ultimate Slayer targets. We have Garua for a draw one. This one's 4 points. Valon to destroy a set card and to target its seizes. Wind Pegasus at Ignister to banish and spin an opponent's card back into their deck. And Fossil Warrior Skull Knight, which you can banish it, target one monster your opponent controls, and destroy it. With that rounding out the main and extra decks, I will move towards the side deck, where I will not start with those cards. I'll put these cards face down. These are spicy cards. I will start with Genesys and Ultimate Slayer. That is Lancia. I did not put this right. You know what? We'll just throw them all out. Sure. Except for those cards. So, we have Lancia, Twin Twister, Genesys, and Ultimate Slayer for 12 cards in the side deck, not including these three. I want to talk about those separately. Lancia stops your opponent from banishing cards. Stops both players from banishing cards during your opponent's turn. Very strong card. Mattered a lot versus one of my matchups. We have Twin Twister, which I preferred over Cosmic Cyclone. It costs 0 points. It allows me to discard stuff like Ice Barrier, the Mirror Mage, and the Speaker. Sometimes Speaker I did not want in my hand. Genesys, getting rid of towers. Plus it's a water, so you can discard it for Ranadrine if they cannot make the towers. Ultimate Slayer, very solid card. Your opponent cannot respond to it with monster effects. It breaks boards by itself. And then finally, for another spicy tech, I play 3 White Howling. This says as long as you control a water monster, you can banish 1 spell out of your opponent's graveyard, and spell cards on the field have their effects negated until the end of turn. That includes any spells that they plan to activate for the rest of that turn. It is a very beautiful card, 0 points. I am very, very, very happy with this deck. Again, it got me first place at the Genesys Welcome. This was my first Genesys tournament, and Ice Barrier worked for me. Please, please, please try Genesys. It is a fun format, and I cannot stress enough how much fun it was. But that is it for the profile. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have any questions, just let me know. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and again, try Genesys Format. Super fun time. Also, I apologize if I sound like a robot. It is what it is.